In this next movie, we're going to be creating all of the subsequent pages for our particular website. Now, these subpages will eventually be turned into templates, as we will see in an upcoming chapter. However, just to get us started, let's create those links to the pages, and we'll create one of those pages itself. So the first thing I want you to do is to take a look at your files, and if you remember, we are working with the Chapter 7 start files. You'll notice that right now there do not happen to be any pages within here. So I want you to go about creating those pages. If we right click and say new file, we're going to create one called the video HTML page. And we'll do that for all of these other links that we have up top here. So another new file for download. And another file for description. So on and so forth. So we also have a support, testimonial, and contact pages. Now you might be wondering, why are we actually doing this? And it's because I want to create these pages first so that we can create the links to the pages directly on the index page itself. So here we now have all of these pages created. They are empty pages, they're just blank HTML, nothing really going on with them. So first thing I want you to do is notice I'm not in live view, I'm just in design view, so I can select the video page. I'm actually even going to expand the panel here. And I'm going to double click on the CSS so that we only see the files window available. Selecting the video tag, and then I'll come in here and we'll point to the video page. Sounds good. Double click the download, and we'll do the same thing for all of these pages as well. Description, so on and so forth. Now, these things were still looking like they had links because we were using, as you can see here, the null dummy link, but now they are actually going to pages that we've just created. Okay, so we've got all of our links in place. I'm going to ask you to file, save, or even save all in case you don't have any of your CSS pages saved yet. And once we've got that, now we're not going to make the same mistake that a lot of beginners make, which is to go to the contact or description page or whatever and open it up, blank page, and start creating again from scratch. We don't need to do that. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to just grab one of the first pages that we see here. For example, let's say the download page. And what I want to do is to say file, save as. Now that we've saved the index page, we're going to save it as the download page. So just right there, download HTML. And then we will replace the existing download page. Remember, the existing download page is blank, so we can replace it with no fear. Once it is replaced, again, it's going to ask if we want to update links. And what that means is these links work because we are inside of the index page. However, the contact, description, download pages are inside of a folder called pages. If we left the links the way they are, they would not work. So we're going to say, yes, please update those links. All right, so now I'm going to just collapse this for a second, and let's take a look. This is now the download page. We had our index page right here, but now we are dealing with the download page. So I'm just going to shut down the index page and make sure we're only working on the download page. So if you remember, a couple of things that we're going to need to do. I'm going to go to my code view, and we're going to see we need the header always in place. That's fine. We need the navigation in place, and that's fine too. However, this div with the ID banner, we're not going to have that on our sub pages. So I'm just going to come in here and delete it. What about these sections? You know what? We're going to get rid of those too. Now we are going to keep the article here, except I'm going to change the ID for the article, and I'm going to change it to something like main. Now that we've got the ID main, we'll see that it won't be styled anymore. However, With that in place, I'm also going to get rid of the divs that are inside of the article. We're going to populate this article a little bit later on with some paragraphs and maybe some pictures. The aside we'll keep because we're still going to have an aside. Ultimately, these subpages are going to look like two main columns taken up and then a third column taken up with the aside. So I want that there. Footer stays exactly the same. We don't need to change any of that. So if we go back to our design view, and if I save this page now, the download page is saved. If we go to live view, well, we don't really see much of anything. And the reason being is because we're missing our article. So when we come back in the next video, we're going to create the article and define the template for all of our subpages.